Let's be real. We've all seen a narrative music video before. You know, with characters and dialogue and a small plot. But this one had me thinking, how did they manage all these extras and find this set? Is anything in this shot real? Did someone actually paint these paintings? And ultimately, what did it take to build this freaky medieval fairy tale world that I 100% believe in? So I tracked down one of the Dutch directors behind it. And homie was honest.
Okay. It was very difficult. Cero Ismael, he's quite a large dude. It's like wrapped up and stuff, and we're like in this one-way street, so it was like 5 people trying to carry him back.
Did you guys have like a safety coordinator on set or someone
No,
in charge of...
no safety, but we had a stunt guy. It's basically a stock image. There's nothing that we shot in this shot, 0. But it really helps to establish a world. Because you can have your little like medieval town, but if you don't have like some kind of scale imagery, then you're not really believing it, you know what I mean? This makes it massive.
I got a lot out of this one. It was wild hearing how they, that's right, there were 2 of them.
I am Simon Becks from the Netherlands, and this is...
I'm Folkert Verdoorn, also from the Netherlands.
And you're here, you just won Best Director?
Yes.
We did.
Now, I'm well aware that directing duos are a thing, but I've never asked the question, why did you choose to share the directorial responsibilities with someone? And I really liked what he said.
I mean, for one, it's nice to share responsibility.
This show is made possible in part by viewers like you, and obviously Frameset, which is where you go to develop your ideas before you shoot them. Search for the perfect references and use them to build a pitch that will win you the project of your dreams. It's also totally free to get started, so check the link below. Okay, thanks. Well, Folkert, it's great to have you. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, happy to be here.
You and your co-director Simon Becks built quite a world with this one, and not to mention some interesting characters to go with it.
Yeah, thank you.
Off camera, you mentioned that the budget for this one was pretty slim. So my first question to you is, why did you choose to create something so ambitious?
I mean, it's something I always try not to do, but somehow it always ends up like this, and it's
Sure.
Certain sense of obsession, and then it's also maybe a little bit of insecurity, you know, when it's big to fail or something, you know what I mean? And I think there's always a, you know, I like a certain idea that has a immediate kind of impact when you hear it, and usually these ideas are a bit more of the grander ideas. And yeah, then when I'm building, I'm just starting to add on more and more until it becomes some kind of beast, I suppose. So that's how we end up there.
Yeah, I can relate to that. What do you think you need from a project in order to ensure you can pull off something like this, if not for budget?
I think it's about people, obviously. You need people, but you need people that are willing to get into the trenches with you to a degree. And you need to have a producer there who is able to pull these people, get them excited, and I should get them excited. And I've noticed that over the years that has started to get easier, but still always it's a hassle, you know. You're not gonna get the best of the best, but you're gonna look for the people who have the potential in them to be the best, but they are still a bit lower on the tree, you know. And I think getting them excited to work on it, and it's finding the right DP who has a big name, that you get all the ACs excited to work with, you know. I think it's a combination of these kind of things that get your crew together, and that's in the end kind of what you need. You need manpower. Yeah.
Speaking of manpower, speaking of choosing people, you brought on a co-director, Simon Becks.
I am Simon Becks from the Netherlands, and this is...
I'm Folkert Verdoorn, also from the Netherlands. We both live in Amsterdam.
Nice. And you're here, you just won Best Director?
Yes.
We did.
How does it feel to win?
Happy, elated, and a little bit shocked, because we were really amazed by the competition, I guess.
Yes, that's exactly, yeah.
Why did you choose to share the directorial responsibilities with someone?
I mean, for one, it's nice to share responsibility, of course. And then, you know, Simon is a good friend of mine. He has a different background, very talented man. But you know, I come really from the gutters of advertising and music videos, unschooled, which, you know, has its values. but also its downsides. And like Simon is he comes from the art school. It's an art boy, you know, and it's you can think in a certain way that it can be very helpful and inspiring, and sometimes also not. But like in a general sense, it brings something fresh to the table, and then it works well to a degree in the collaboration. Yeah.
What's something about this project that you look at and you go, if it weren't for Simon Becks, that wouldn't be there?
I think the ending was an idea of his to kind of shake it up to the modern world. So that was something from his side. Besides that, I think the text on the house, for example, saying, "Please leave, thanks." This is a typical Simon thing. So there you go. That's just a couple of things. I mean, I'm sure there are more, but it's also been a while. But a lot of it is his, and a lot of it is a tete-a-tete, you know, between us two, and thinking and coming up with ideas like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get into some of the nitty-gritty, shot by shot on this piece.
Let's do it.
So, I mean, starting out, what aspect ratio is this?
It's not 4:3. I think it's a bit smaller or wider. I can't really remember.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I know what we did. We were looking at the Lighthouse of Robert Eggers, and then we decided to steal his aspect ratio, which I think it's a little bit bigger than a square, but not as big as 4:3.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed it wasn't quite 4:3. I tried to figure it out, and I was like, "What is this thing specifically?" But it's cool.
Yeah. Thanks.
This shot, how did you block it? Is this all in one shot? Like, what's real?
Well, the drones are not real for one, but I mean, we were already like 2 hours over time, which was terrible. So we had very limited time for this shot, and it's of course a very ambitious shot because you have 4 actors, you're not cutting, it's one shot, you know, there's all these dialogue, and then there's the timing with throwing it from the background, so you needed to be able to see it. You know, it was like, okay, let's try something here. So we set up, you know, the actress or the artist on the left as kind of, you know, the most important things, having her close, but it was fun to have it a bit off framing as well. And then, yeah, we set the dudes near, and then we wanted to have some dynamics. So with this really big guy on the right, Eddie, I thought, well, maybe Eddie should be like, you know, training, working out here.
No, I just think it's a really cool introduction to like all of our characters, and almost every piece of the puzzle is in this first shot here.
Exactly, yeah, and it's like, it's just an oddity to begin with, you know, it's fun that you don't know where it's going, and it's like this kind of, you know, crazy roller coaster of unexpected things happening, which, you know, it's fun for a music video, it makes it exciting.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's a lot to digest, and I love it. I think it's a really fun way to introduce all of your characters. But I think another thing that really stands out to me about this piece is this like integration of these narrative pieces. I mean, the way you seamlessly integrated all these narrative moments with the song, I mean, it's beyond perfect. How did you how did you shoot that on the day?
I think it's cute. And when I hear its thunderous voice, I see 1,000.
I mean, let's see. I mean, this was relatively simple, right? Like, he's just falling down and then starting his lyrics exactly at that point. It's at a certain point he gets kicked, and that was kind of like, well, whenever he gets kicked, then that's when it stops, you know, and it's kind of fun when it's a bit imperfect there. And when it comes to the next part where he's being dragged across this whole street, you know, we kind of recorded that in a bit more longer take, so just so we had, you know, the possibility of cutting in at a certain point. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, this works, you know, maybe not in the edit, and then we try to figure shit out again there, you know. It's never perfect with these kind of music videos.
Yeah, this alleyway shot, I mean, there's a lot going on here as well. Is it everything you imagined it to be? What was it like blocking this?
Complicated because we just really didn't have a lot of extras here, and we didn't have a good AD as well, and especially not a second AD, you know, which is usually the person that kind of does blockings and everything, and it was very difficult to do it, you know, because you see a take and you're trying to look at everything that's happening. And then it's like, okay, this extra it needs to be a bit more there. That it's like, well, where is she? And it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. So just by struggling and kind of intuitively trying to do it as best as we can. You know, there was also a complication with like, of course, this carriage isn't really carried by drones. It was just people with sticks, you know, and like having them being in front of people was also like a problematic thing. This was the best take, and remember the guy throwing the water out of the bucket out of that from the right side. He kind of tapped as well this how do you call it, this wooden thing above it, and it was really shaken. And then he tried to close it, but so that was something we had to kind of clear out in post in the end. So it kind of freeze that image to make it good.
Oh, I see. I see. How did you guys drag him safely? What was that process? Did you guys have like a safety coordinator on set or someone in charge of figuring that out?
Fuck no safety. But we had a stunt guy. And we kind of had this setup which we also couldn't test beforehand, which was annoying because we knew it was going to be a problem. Like Joshua or Cero Ismael, he's quite a large dude, like really large.
Yeah.
So, and he's like wrapped up and stuff, and we're like in this one-way street. So it's like, okay, he's all wrapped up. Like how? Okay, we just need to carry him back, I guess. You know, it's like 5 people trying to carry him back, and then we kind of put him on like this plate, this iron sledge, so to say, that's kind of connected to the wire from below. So that's kind of how he's being dragged at this point. But it was complicated. You know, it went wrong a lot of times.
Yeah.
And the setup, like the reset, was very long, which is very annoying.
This shot here, how did you get this tracking shot?
Oh, just a Steadicam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steadicam, low mode, follow him around.
Yeah, the lens that you chose to use here is a pretty specialty lens. Why did you choose this lens for this shot?
I'm looking at it. I don't know if a probe really was relevant here, to be honest. I think we could have shot it on a regular lens. I think it was just already on the camera, and we're just like far behind, you know. Sometimes that's just kind of what it is, because there's really not much need to have a probe here. I mean, I guess maybe we had it on there so we could get a lot closer from time to time, like really close to his eye or something. But it just didn't make the cut. So now this feels a bit ridiculous.
Well, yeah, anytime I see something like this, I'm like, okay, there's a reason for this clearly, and I'm always just curious whether it was like a time crunch thing, or like you said, you're going for a shot that didn't quite pan out, but you shot this other stuff anyway, and that's what ended up in the cut. You know, it's always fascinating how that works out sometimes.
Yeah, I think so, because now looking at it, I think there was a clear reason for us to be doing that here.
Okay, this shot here. I think I know how you guys did this, but kind of walk me through how you achieved this egg shot.
Right, I mean, this basically was building a rig in front of the camera. And then, so you tape up the drill, and then there was an egg up on top of it that's kind of just rotating due to the drill. And then the probe is handy because you can get very close, of course. And then, you see this guy kind of running like a maniac with the camera to take it to him.
This portal shot here, I mean, to me, this looks pretty darn ambitious.
You know, you're very right. I mean, that's so much timing things together at the same time. It's like, the carriage is very small, so we had to build some kind of slider inside of it, and it's like, it was just, everything is just and about in the shot, and it's a bit sped up, as you may notice at the end, also just to get the timings right of everything. Incredibly complicated. I
noticed it was a little sped up, but I thought that was just kind of done on purpose. So there's a few things that are sped up.
Let's say that it's done on purpose. Yeah, it is done on purpose.
Yeah, totally. I love this rig here, this setup.
Yeah.
What were you going for here?
I mean, just an interesting performance shot that's not so I'm never the biggest fan of like taking an artist out of the situation to do performance, you know, like why would you do that if you can just create it inside of the world? So this is a clear example of this, you know, like it's in the narrative action of her sitting in the carriage. And yeah, of course, then it's just an easy rig setup where, you know, we have her half in the frame and then half of it is just the dynamics of other stuff that works quite well like that, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you're clearly taking every opportunity you can to show all of the elements in each scene and how they relate to each other. It all works really well, like the geometry of the set, of everything.
I think the more you do that, the better it is, you know. The more your world it feels as one instead of like all these isolated ingredients, which can also work, you know. But it has more value like this. It feels more lived in like this. Yeah.
Isolated ingredients. Yeah. I mean, I've done that. I think when you lack budget and you lack time, it's easier to do that. So to watch you kind of push beyond that is impressive.
I mean, it's luck, you know, also because we had this set, you know, like we were thinking about like, okay, we need some kind of medieval street or something in the Netherlands. Maybe it's there, but not really, you know, it's like really tiny. I mean, it's a medieval fucking country, but like there is, you know, not something like this necessarily. Definitely nothing like some kind of 360 view. And then somebody mentioned this open air museum, which basically has all these replicants of all these like history times, right? So we went there and then we saw this street and we're like, well, that's great, you know, this is like a entire 360 built set to the smallest details. So that of course gave us a lot of freedom and potential to do more, to make the world as realistic as we would have desired it to be.
Yeah. These paintings, I love the use of them. So perfectly tailored to the story and the theme. How did you make them?
So we built all these in AI. It was a lot of work actually. And I think the editor, Milan Beltman, he really took his time in developing these. So it's definitely not a plug and play kind of thing, but we you know, fed it like all these thousands of weird oddities, weird Renaissance paintings. And then we give him the characters and then, you know, building stuff and then, you know, try it again and again and again. And then, you know, sometimes, and then we brought it to Photoshop and do like an extend image kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's, sometimes you get really cool shit, sometimes you get really terrible shit, but it's kind of fun to do. And then like, we, you know, in the grading, we kind of added some grain and wiggle to it to make it a bit more like, you know, it's added into the world instead of like this really still kind of images.
Yeah, it would have felt, that's why it feels so cohesive. I mean, okay, I want to just take a second and talk about the things that make this piece, in my opinion, that weren't shot on camera, captured on camera. Obviously, like the drones are CG, but I want to run through some shots and you just tell me what's real and what's not. Like this one here.
So this is what I do a lot is I use stock images. For example, this German town, and then we augment it with CG, adding smoke and whatever not, and the look, adding some mountains, and yeah, then I just add in another CG component like this drone that's kind of exploding. It was Simon's idea to say, hey, maybe the drones are gonna fly up and explode, and at some point, and like why? Well, because it's fun, and it is. So so that's we had this drone, fly there. But so it's basically a stock image, you know, and it's nothing related. There's nothing that we shot in this shot, zero.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the same for the opening of the music video. That's like a Turkish town.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have that image there.
No, I do. Yeah. I was gonna ask about that here.
Yeah, exactly. This is a stock image of a Turkish town, and then we in the CG we built a hill on top of it, and then we built a castle on top of it with this little flag. Obviously that's all fake, and it looked fucking terrible. But then it's like, okay, then maybe we have like this kind of rough crash zoom, you know, wiggly zoom in, and just enough to keep you defocused so it feels believable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, okay,
totally.
actually, I was like, oh no, it still looks terrible. Okay, maybe then we do the titles, you know, at this point. And then, you know, more or less like that, it lands, but it really helps to, you know, to establish a world. Because you can have your little like medieval town, but if you don't have like some kind of scale imagery, then you're not really believing it. You know what I mean? This makes it massive. And it's nothing we shot, you know, it's just a bit of CG for a couple of days.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome. I love it. And I also love like how you carried that same establishing mountaintop and you kind of like put it so subtly in the background of this shot here, you know?
Exactly, because
What,
again, that's the same thing, you know, like again, building like some kind of an additional layer to it, whether it's the drones or like some kind of sky replacement, that really helps to sell it so much more.
I mean, on that, the way that you made this look like film, because you shot digitally, no?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's your delivery of this is insane. Can you just tell me about how you did it?
So, I mean, hey, that's also something, you know, it's more on the DPs and the grader side. We use Joppo from this grading house in the Netherlands called the Grot, and they kind of freaked on it for a couple days. I think it's a grain for one, and then it's like a wiggle that's added on there as well. And you know, you see the kind of shaking of the image, but also in some of the colors it kind of fluctuates a little bit. So I think like the combination of these elements, you get a really good film-esque look that's kind of something on its own again as well.
Yeah, yeah, totally. This shot here, what's real and what's not?
Well, they're real. The drone is real. The painting is completely AI. There was no painting on the wall. Oh, and it's also we extended the size as well. So this room wasn't so big. It doesn't really make sense and stuff if you look at it too long. But you know, the way the shadows are working and stuff. But that also is fun.
Is this butterfly real?
Yes,
Whoa. You have a bug person for that?
I have my people. You know, I cannot disclose all my context here.
That's okay. That's okay. I think every good filmmaker needs their secret bug person.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love this setup, this portrait-like setup here. Again, like you're taking all your elements, putting them in the same shot in this portrait-like way.
Yeah. So this is basically like also one floodlight, you know, frontal. As simple as that. Nothing else. Really, really simple setup. And yeah, then just loading them all up and starting to shoot.
I need to pee!
Okay, we got to talk about this scene. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
This, my friend, is an enormous amount of pee.
Yes. That is an enormous amount of pee. She's a fanatic peer. I mean, it's a princess. Princess pee a lot. They drink a lot. You know, it's a life of luxury. Can I say about it?
Yeah.
There's a funny story about this scene. Like,
Yeah.
or do you want to ask something first, maybe?
No, tell me everything you have to say about this scene, please.
We were originally intending to shoot this on day one, which where we shoot at the medieval town. But day two, we were predominantly shooting in the modern kind of life, and then also some studio shots. Problem was we were like incredibly overtime on day one, so like all this peeing stuff we couldn't do in a day. So we were like, "Fuck, dude, we're like in a modern city tomorrow. How are we gonna be able to shoot this?" And then, you know, when we arrived there that day, it's like we just walked around the house, the modern house, and we just saw this parking lot with like some dust laying there and stuff. It's like, okay, well, I guess we just put them down there and it will do. And then if you go to the other shop with the two dudes, this is like just one little shed that was there, but it's only the house. Everything on the right side of it is also AI extended. Actually, it's not real.
Oh, I see.
And it's just on a regular street, right? And then, you know, her peeing in front of the tree. It's just a tree on the side of the road. So it's kind of, we really, with the bare things we had at hand, we kind of managed to cut it together. And, you know, it's funny, like when you watch it, you're not questioning it at all. So
No.
I think that's just brilliant. You can get away with so much. Yeah, that's funny.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I think it also just the amount of urine, dude, just fits with like this comedic um style that you have with the whole thing. Um,
Yeah, I think this is one we particularly like a lot because it's like it's so silly. It's so silly and it's like but it's also very sad that it comes to his face and then it's like that she just saves him there, you know, that's like kind of a dream of his or something. We thought, oh,
Yeah.
that's just a really funny and odd little thing. You little freak boy, you know. And I think
Yeah.
that that's just something we really enjoyed doing actually.
Yeah. This transition is incredible. I want to go to this bathtub scene.
Yeah.
Break it down in detail for me. What's the story here?
I mean, basically, you know, it's like the whole music video is about them or maybe him even more in a kind of being displaced and not really fitting in and you know initially we just had it all placed in this medieval surreal world, you know, a world that's alienating to us, but then it also he is alienating there as a monster in that alienating world, you know, and but somewhere we were like, okay, well, where is he going? You know, we didn't know
Yeah.
really. Like maybe it's not about the end, but maybe it's about the journey, you know. And it's like maybe and it was Simon was like, well, maybe he wakes up and it's like, you know, you're in a modern world, or and it was all some kind of dream, and it was like, yeah, that's kind of funny. Why not? Let's do that. You know, it kind of makes it a bit more thematic, you know, instead of
Yeah.
like just this narrative medieval story because we couldn't care less, to be honest. And we just thought it was like funny when it's like, yeah, basically just kind of this weird story about this kind of displaced lovers in different time universes, you know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it
Yeah.
came about.
Yeah, I love it. Where was this modern scene? Was it like far away from the medieval location?
It's just like a second day shoot, you know. So yeah, it was far away, but it's like it's close to Amsterdam.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love this this overhead shot. How did you guys set that up?
Just like a rig on top, above him, you know, quite simple,
Yeah.
and just have him lay down in the bathtub.
So like after our monster comes out of the bathtub water, to me I have all kinds of questions until I get to this shot here.
It's nice that I mean, it doesn't answer all the questions, I think, but like, there's a feeling that kind of lands for some reason, you know, like this displaced lovers are kind of portrayed well in this end frame, and you get that feeling, even though you don't get the whole story, but that is interesting as well because it makes you think about it a little bit more, and it's more of this skeleton you can kind of put your own flesh on or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's a nice. You know, it can be annoying. I don't like David Lynch, for example, not at all, which might be ironic, but yeah, in a certain way, it can be nice, especially for such a short format thing. You know, yeah, it makes it a bit more, dare I say, poetic, maybe.
Yeah, I just think it's really smart that like the drones have been pulling him the whole video.
Yeah.
And at the end, he has control of the drone.
Yeah, you know, it shows maybe a bit more of his fantasy world, or God, yeah, what do you know? I don't know. It's funny. It works for some reason. It's kind of sad as well, you know. It's like, I don't know. There's multiple layers to it.
What's something that you wish you had that you didn't?
I think if we had a bit more time, a bit more crew, it would have been way more interesting. You know, I think we're very limited in what shots we could use, could not use. You know, and then we're like, fuck, we're struggling in the edit to kind of fit it all together. So, if we had a bit more of that, then yeah, there would have been a lot more value. I'm a bit annoyed by the opening dialogue. I think it's not that great. It could have been a lot better if we cut it and, you know, had a bit more time in the scene and kind of developed it a little bit more. So that's that. And like you know, you're talking about the intertwinement of the world and stuff. It could have been even more, I'd say, in the end. You know, there could have been more connection between things. And but yeah, in the end, it's a great piece. I'm happy with it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you like doing music videos?
I mean, I do, but it's exhausting. But I do. I do. It's a lot of work, you know, especially doing these kind of things. I'm hoping to get to a stage where I'm a bit more confident to make more simple ideas. You know, just do one thing and do it very well. You know, if I look at the work of someone like Oscar Hudson or something, he's very good at that. Just like thinks of one idea and he just developed the fucking shit out of it. You know.
Yeah. Do you think music videos are something you'll always do?
No, probably not, because it's just too much work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's draining. They're also their career builders as well. You know, I enjoy doing them. I probably will do them from time to time, but I cannot really see myself making a music video when I'm 40. Probably not.
Yeah. Well, now that we got that out of the way, what's up?
What's up with me? How is life?
Yeah, what's up with how's life, dude? What are you excited about these days? I get to talk to Folkert, dude.
Like,
what's up?
Like, I'm good. I'm good. I had a really busy year. You know, I think the last 2 years, and especially this year, I've managed to kind of develop the music videos a bit more into advertising. So I've done a lot of bigger ads this year, which is fun, but it's exhausting. I was in China for Nike, and then in London for Wimbledon, and in Georgia we're shooting this e-bike ad, and it's a heavy lifestyle, you know. And I think all the big dogs are doing, but it's something you need to get used to, because it is drain. It's like all, how do you call it? All, it takes over your whole life, basically. You know what I mean? But it's fun, you know. It's like you're going on crazy adventures. And that's really exciting, but it's equally draining at the same time. And I think at this point, I'm ready for a little holiday. But I'm happy, you know, where it's going. It's exciting to be able to work on these kind of bigger things. And me and Simon were shooting a music video in Iceland in 2 weeks for this Chinese artist called Quinn, which is fun because it's actually a decent budget. And like we do like a 3-day shoot there, and you know that's gonna be amazing. On the glaciers there, and who knows what we'll be doing, you know? I think that's very exciting. That gets me excited. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. What do you think you'll be doing 20 years from now?
I mean, you know, if you're looking at AI and stuff, fuck knows what we'll be doing. I hope I'm making movies at this point. And I guess developing myself a little bit more as an artist, and not necessarily as, you know, an advertising director, is something I would like to do and what I admire to do. I mean, I love doing ads as well, you know, but I think there's just more leverage when you build yourself a little bit more as an artist. And of course, it's more fun when you get more personal and, you know, push your really personal desires and stuff. So, and like, you know, there's fiction ambitions, like who hasn't, you know. I've been working on a series for a really long time. So maybe that's something that will see the light of day one time. It would be great. And, 20 years is a long time, dude.
It's a long time. I know. I can't imagine what I'll be doing 20 years from now.
Doing podcasts for instead.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe we're talking again in 20 years.
Well, I think we did it then. Thanks so much for your time, man.
Was it okay?
I think it was great.
Okay. Good.
Do you?
I hope it was good. I don't know. Try to answer questions as good as I can. Well, it was fun to do, and your questions were good and smart, so thank you for that.
Yeah, it was really great to talk to you. I'm a big fan of your work. I think you make really great work, and getting to hear behind the mind of who creates that is always fascinating.
Yeah, of course. No, yeah, of course. I mean, it's great you guys are doing this kind of stuff. This wasn't around a couple of years ago, you know. So I think it's brilliant.